Yeah, hi everyone. Well, it's I guess June the 17th today, and it's been a while, and I thought I should give you in this video a short update on how my movement from YouTube is going, and to discuss a bit about this idea of being sane in an insane world. And I thought about it for a few days actually since I've done the TAD intensive, and it's really something that I've kind of wanted to talk about because I think it's something we're all dealing with one way or another. So I'm here at a different lake. This is not the normal lake you see that's near my house. This one is a little further down, and it's a very nice day actually. It's been rainy and stuff for a few days, but today is quite nice. So I'm just out in the woods and had to go to my mailbox, and so I thought, okay, I'll come and talk to you today. So my updates. So I am finally making the move from YouTube, and I'll be doing the same thing that Matt did, heading over to freevoice.io. I'm really confident that Rob is creating something really good there, and I'll be putting up. I have a new website. You will appreciate the new name of the website. Actually, it's pretty funny. I'll tell you that in a couple of days when it's all up and ready, and we'll begin the same process. We'll begin getting. Because the most important thing for me is not just to change so I can speak freely, so that I feel like I'm not having to watch what I say and to skirt around issues, that I can just say things as they come into my head. I can just speak directly, which I think is really important for the standpoint of feeling free, feeling sane. But I want to make sure that we keep this community. It's one of the things that's been really, really great is it's one thing to share the videos. It's another thing to read all the comments and see how aware and how clear so many of you are with your own seeing, with your own work, and to see the really helpful comments. They've actually been very helpful, and I don't want to lose that. I also don't want to lose the place where people who are feeling a bit alone with all this, or feeling like they've got no one to talk to, and just that you can leave a comment with something, and then somebody can respond to you, and you can respond back, and you just know you're not alone with all this, that there's others going through the exact same challenges right now that you are. So I want to keep all that over at Free Voice. I'll stay on YouTube similar, like as long as they'll kind of let me, and I'll use a combination of just some runners to the videos that are on the other side, and one or two videos every once in a while. That's just keeping the channel kind of going, but they'll be very low key and safe. Right? Anything I want to say that I think is really important is now all going to start moving over there. So that's that update. So in a couple of days, I'll just post a short little video when that's ready, and when the new website's ready, and we're moving on. Okay. Staying sane in an insane world. And don't for any thing think that I'm running in perfect sanity here, because there are things that happen in my world that just send me off the edge for a while. And so it really made me just want to discuss this with you, not just, again, the overall concept, but how challenging it even is for me. I mean, and I guess the first step, and the thing that is missed by so many out there, and so many who I think have had some sort of experience, have had some sort of understanding of something. The first step to trying to be sane in an insane world is you have to see that the world is insane. If you still don't see that at least the entire human societal system as it's set up is designed only to create fear and stress. I mean, the systems as they are now, right? The systems that we've known our lives, they're there only to set up fear, difficulty. I've got a big truck coming, so I better get off the road here for a moment. Just pass that away. So all of the systems are set up to create fear, anxiety, stress, confusion, distraction, distortion, control of your perception, control of your energy. That's what the whole dream is really set up to do, at least as it is now. Perhaps in some time in the past it was a little set up a little differently. We can speculate, but we don't know for sure. All we know is the experiences we've had And so far, from all of the human societal things that have been placed upon us, nothing in any system has been there to try to help us and make our life better. So once you see at least that the world we've been born into is insane, is set up in an insane way, of course, one of the standard things that happens when you first figure this out is you want to fix it, right? It's insane, and if I just become the president or the prime minister, I'll fix everything and it'll all be fine. Or if we just elect the right government, if we just tell the teachers to teach a different way, if we just talk to the banker, whatever. People have tried that for 50, 100 years, done nothing. So this idea of being sane in an insane world, of course, is individual. It's about your own personal sanity and clarity in the face of an potentially unchanging insanity, and in fact worsening insanity, right? The world was insane back in the 70s and 80s and 90s when we were going through it, and you could tell, but it was like it was downplayed, right? It was like you did have moments where you could just kind of be yourself and be normal. Now, over the last few years, of course, but even the last 5 or 6 years or so, the intensity of everything is just ratcheted up. And now, of course, we're living in super insanity, and it's going to get worse probably. So how do you stay sane? Well, again, for step one, you see that it's insane first. Okay, what's the next step? Good question. One of the things Richard Rose, because he talked about this, he talked about one of the things of the path to truth is a path to sanity. He had said something like, if you're going to find the truth, you have to become the sanest person in the world. And normally what sanity is, like if you ask for a definition of it, like a textbook definition, psychological definition, it would be something like what the majority of a population feels is true. So if 51% of the people think that wearing green shoes is the only thing you should be doing, then if you're wearing green shoes, you're sane. I'm simplifying, but that's really what it is. If the majority of a population believes one thing, believing the same thing means you're sane. And okay, there's 8,000 of these possible little things that society thinks, and as long as you're on board with 7,500 of them, you check off, you're okay. Rose, though, presented it quite differently, and his presentation of sanity was, if you can step outside of your mind, so if you can step into the observer, into the witness, away from being at the level of thought to a place where you can see all the thoughts, where you can see your thoughts, you can see your feelings, you can see everything. You can see the external, but more importantly, you see your thoughts and you see your feelings. And he said, if you like what you see from there, if everything that's going on in your internal world is absolutely 100% fine to you, then you're sane. That's it. What I like about that definition is it's personal. One, it doesn't require someone from outside of you to dictate the level of sanity. That's up to you. It also means that if you are able to get to that place and you don't like what you see, there's possibilities of making transformations, or maybe not even transforming them, just being able to maneuver that internal world a little bit differently. So it means that actually this path to sanity is all about you, is all about your own work, is all about your own seeing. And I like that. I really like that. So let's take that into our scenario. We walk outside our door, we head out to the street, and we're hit with it. We see it all around us, right? You know what I'm talking about. The things that I'll be able to talk about on Free Voice. Okay, so it's insane. And you're there, and you're choosing to be as sane and normal as possible. Okay, so you've made step one, you've checked it off. Okay, things are insane. Got that. Now what? Well, I think the first step is then not to have fear about it, but more importantly, not to have fear about, or you might say to have a sense of contentment, or a sense of courage and strength in yourself that you're not going to follow the insanity you see around you, that you're going to say, me and I am making this choice to not do this and not do this and not do this, and instead do that and that and that. And just bring your shoulders up a bit, bring your head up a bit, and just be comfortable. And don't be afraid as you walk past and anybody who you're classifying as they've taken the download, they're moving in more and more into insane land, and you're just comfortably saying, I can still show the world something different. I can still show reality without having to say anything, without having to do more than just be. You're showing the world a different level of possibility. Even if no one notices it or not, some just will. Some will just notice. You look different on the street, you're acting different, you're being different. Some will think you're the crazy one, right? And you're the crazy one. Get this a lot, people emailing me concerned with their whole family now thinks they're crazy, and But again, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. It matters what you can see about yourself. What you can see about yourself. And do you like it? Are you comfortable with it? Do you feel that it's clear? And I don't want to use the word clean, that's not the right word, but is it clear? That's all. That's all it takes. So again, some ways to do that are taking moments. I think another one you can do to help with this is take some moments of the day. This was a message I got from, I did get some good messages, by the way, from the TAD Intensive. I got some things that were very confusing, but I got some things that were very positive. One was a conversation I had privately with Sean Nevins, who's kind of the one kind of I guess is more or less in charge of the TAT Foundation now. And he told me one of the things Rose wanted him to do as he was going on was to be in rapport with himself. So that doesn't mean sitting in meditation, being quiet. It means to be still in such a way that you are connecting with your own deeper self. That the thing you've always thought of as you, that you're experiencing from, is connecting or merging with this deeper part, the part that will let you know where your sanity level is. And so take some time each day to try to make this connection. Be in rapport with yourself. You're not trying to be quiet, you're not trying to be peaceful, you're not trying to run from the world. You're trying to connect with this deeper aspect where the sanity automatically lies and where the presentation of this inner clarity lies. And you just take, it doesn't be long, 10 minutes, 15 minutes a day to just sit with yourself, to do nothing else other than to feel your own inner sanity. Even if then you step up and you walk back in the world, you don't have it. The sanity's gone, the world around you is getting you, your brother and your sister and your whatever, they're all starting to bother you again. It's, you've lost it. But for those 15 minutes, it's try to bring it in for those 15 minutes. And then maybe you can start taking it with you. 15 minutes in the rapport session, 10 or 15 minutes in the outside world, an hour in the outside world, 2 hours in the outside world. This is the kind of experience that you're probably looking towards. And this is how I would present it, is use this, take some time with yourself each day with the purpose of not just feeling calm, not just feeling peaceful, or not just introspection and learning more. It's just feel the sanity, feel the place of, even if you can't feel it the rest of the day, try to feel it for that 15 minutes and then remember it. As you go out and you see more insanity around you, can you remember back to the 15 minutes you spent earlier that day when you were touching it? You could feel like, yes, sanity, clear seeing, knowing what's right for myself, and just hold on to that a little bit. It might make your movement through the world a little bit easier. So that's what I had to say to you today. I'm not sure how helpful that is, but I wanted to say it and let you know I'm doing okay. I'll put up a new short video in a couple of days so that you'll know as the move begins to happen and how that's going to go and what will help make it more and more successful. And oh yeah, the masculine feminine thing. I totally forgot about that. Yeah. So that video will now, that'll go on Free Voice. That'll be one of my first videos I'm going to do on Free Voice. I think it's going to be interesting. But I just wanted to mention about the exercise that you did. And I'll say it again when I do the other video, but some people are probably wondering about, he hasn't said anything. We did the exercise, you know, some of you did it, and he hasn't said anything about it yet. Okay, I'm going to say it now. So the first question I have to ask is, okay, you did the exercise, right? And you did it the way I suggested to do it, which is of course interesting in itself. But you took that piece of paper and you wrote, for example, masculine, and you put the line down at positive, negative. You put the feminine, you put positive and negative. Now, the question I want you to pick up your paper. If you've done this exercise, pick up your piece of paper, look at the words that are on both sides first, because it's giving you an idea of how you view things. But more importantly, it's to say, how are you able to tell if a quality is positive or negative? By what degree of judgment are you using to make that choice? I mean, if I asked you because really what we're finding is qualities of masculinity, I asked you, it's like qualities of femininity. It's like a description of that term. So if I asked you really, description of a bear, or description of tree, qualities of a tree, qualities of a giraffe, qualities of a bird, would you really have a positive and negative side for qualities of a tree? Or would you just write the qualities of a tree are bang, 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 bang. The qualities of a bird are bang, bang, bang. So you see what I'm saying? Already, that exercise would have been very much more complete if you just decided it's not positive or negative. I'm just looking for the quality itself. And the qualities, whether it's positive or negative, that's a mental human judgment. It's just, is the word or the quality you've chosen actually masculinity or actually femininity? Or is it something else you've decided to place on top of that quality that's a mental idea? That was one whole part of the exercise now, is to get you to track back to it and begin to see how much of the words and the things you wrote on that page, whether it's whatever column you put them in, do actually describe to you one of those gender types and gender pieces, and how much of it is just a mental overlay of you trying to explain it to yourself. Does that make sense? That's one of the reasons I gave you this exercise, because now you've got the chance to look at your list again in a little different way to see exactly how did you do it that way. And how many people, when I made the slight suggestion, I said, well, you could make a third column, things that aren't positive or negative. It's just an extra, the third column. Well, for those who did that, how many words made it to that column, and why didn't all the words make it to that column? So, okay. Anyway, I'll be taking my list, which was just one list. I didn't make a line on the page. I had just one list when I did mine. And I will see you, I'll see you with another video in a couple of days with an update, and I'll see you in maybe a week. I don't know how long this is all going to take to get rocking and rolling here. But one of the first videos will be this deeper look at masculinity and femininity and its connection to the Grail. And then I've got the video coming too on the Serpent Rouge that's been taking me some time to get to. So that's where we're at. A few other things I've got on the go, and thanks for being a part of all this. Thanks for following along with the journey, and for watching some really good videos that I did, for watching some really junky ones that I did. Certainly the ones at the beginning, they weren't very good. They were, thankfully I don't have to look back at those much anymore. It's been a journey for everyone so far, and now we have a chance to maybe deepen it and really become a much more interesting community, one that is connecting not just on my channel, but connecting with the other channels that will be there. I've heard Rob's kind of given me some ideas of who else might be coming over to Free Voice in the short future as well, and I think they're all good choices. So I think he's putting together a really good package of people researchers and people looking in truth seeking in some way. I think it'll be a really good package and a really good place to be. At least it's worth a shot to see how it all goes, right? So, see you in a few days with the next updates, and hope all is well. Thanks for the encouragement, support. For those of you who've been reading and liked the book and making donations, etc., it's all appreciated. And yeah, we'll see you soon. Cheers.